We are back with a bag of goodies from O'Reilly's. Not a sponsor, just the best local shop for me. They're the ones that treat me the best. We have a new inline fuel filter. It's an Edelbrock. I wanted a Wix, but they didn't have the ones I want in stock. They don't typically stock them, which frustrates me, but it is what it is. Woo, as the wind just tries to take that when I tossed it down. There was a gust of wind at just the right moment. Alrighty. And we have our micro fuel pump. It is a 2 to 3.5. This is about a 2 psi mechanical pump. Probably a little bit less than 2 psi, but it's the closest I could find info-wise. Oh, wunderbar. We're gonna have to have something to cut this open. But yeah, it's just a 12-volt clicky-clack pump. Gravity-fed inline, self-priming and regulating design. Can be used as a lift or transfer pump. Compatible with both gasoline and ethanol-based fuels. We are using recreation gas, so there's no ethanol. We take care of our equipment. You can probably hear the dogs whining in the background. They're on the back porch where they can see me, but they're not in the yard, so they can't get to me. Alright, got a kniff, and when I jokingly say not a sponsor, it's because I don't have any sponsors. I'm small time, small potatoes. Nobody wants to sponsor me, and honestly I don't want to be sponsored right now. Probably never, because I want to be able to tell the truth. I don't want to be locked into some deal where I have to make them sound good if their products are garbage. You know what, let's just see if that was enough. Ooh, very brittle plastic. I lost a few pieces there. Almost got a piece in my eye as well. Oh, and look, comes with a fuel filter. I don't like these ones where you can't see through them. I never have, I never will. Also comes with a couple nice mounting bolts. We won't be using any of that, but we'll keep it on the shelf. And when I say we won't be using any of that, it's because we're going to do the ultimate in naughties. We are going to go directly to the frame with zip ties. And I do mean that. So, flow that way towards the yellow cap. Oh, we're going to have to use their fuel filter because that's a screw-in. I didn't notice that. Please tell me the fuel filter is the screw-in variety. It's looking that way. Yes. So we will use this, but we will still use our other inline filter as well. All right, so flow that way. Is it a 1/2 inch? No. Sloppy. Well, I don't think it's a 7/16, which means we're just going to use the 1/2 inch. All right. It's enough making myself shake there. Yep. She's good and tight. Ah, oh, crud. I know what I forgot to grab. We're going to run without them for now. Hose clamps. I don't have any small enough. And I meant to grab some while I was there. And I forgot, in typical fashion. Had a lot of other stuff I had to get while I was there. And they weren't on the list, so they were forgotten. But we were going to take, and we're just going to plunk this thing right here. I already checked clearances with where the front end mounts. And we're just gonna zipper tie that sucker right on there. And we're gonna give it 12 volts and see what we see. Hopefully, fuel. And then I'll have to fix the wiring, which I don't think I'm gonna have time for today. I have other chores I have to do. I lied to you guys, by the way. It is not Sunday. It is only Saturday. Feels like a Sunday because I had yesterday off. So that's why it feels like Sunday, because yesterday felt like Saturday, even though it was Friday. We will have to lengthen this, of course. We can ground anywhere, but we got to have a longer positive lead. But for what we're doing right now, we're just gonna let it hang loose. Where did I put it? Right next to me? We are gonna double zip tie this guy, maybe. How do I want to zip tie it? Oh, I thought that was, which way? I thought that was a straight through. Oh, that's not good. Well, that changes the plan. This is a solid bar right here. There's no through. Well, can we move it over? I don't think it'll interfere with anything there. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. Alrighty. Go up through the hole. Oh, pulled too much. Yep. Alright, so down through the hole first. Just wanted to make sure it was long enough before I spend a bunch of time feeding it through. Oh, yeah. Great. There's a little slot right there. Good enough. Oh, old man knees. Old man knees suck. We are going to use our pliers instead of using our bare hands. That way, you can get a good old grip there. Get a good old push on there. We might. Oh yeah. Come on. If you don't have some of these pliers and working with line, fuel line especially, get yourself some. There we go. She's on. Now, here's the fun part. This is not long enough. Das ist nicht gut. Which is German for that is not good. So I got hose. Why am I not wearing my old gloves? The other one's over there on the fender. Because they're too sweaty. They wouldn't go back on the hands. So, I'll push that guy up on there. And we need we don't want to kink it. That's not going to work right there. I'm going to have to figure something else out. I can put it back farther this way and then it will work. It just can't go in that slot. Come on. Alright. There's one zip tie down. Man down. Alright. Let's try this again. Pull it back over here. Farther. Come on. Hopefully you guys can see. Hopefully at least a little bit. I'm not in your way. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, baby. There we go. Maybe. There we go. And then I didn't bring cutters for the fuel line. Un momento. Alrighty, back with some cutters. These are not hose cutters. They are garden shears, but they cut. Oh, it's pretty doggone good. Just don't let Lady Metal see me using it for that. And I bought plenty of fuel line because I will be working on the 110s, of course. And who knows the kind of state their fuel line is in. Pick up my wrench that fell. All right. So, the first thing we want to do is make sure the damn thing works. I would say that's a yes. Beautiful. We will figure out exactly how we want to do the positive at another point in time. But I think the negative, where do I want that? Where do I want that? I'm kind of thinking of making use of the bolt, or yeah, for the fuel pump. But they're in kind of an awkward spot to get to. So I'm actually thinking, if I pull it around back here, I ought to be able to go right on that bolt right there. It is what I'm guessing is the valve cover. I don't know these engines inside and out, but it is a rectangular cover held on by a single bolt. It's got to be, yeah, because I don't know what else it would be. An inspection hole, maybe. Kind of makes sense. You know, there are two small holes here in the block that I don't know what they're all about. That concerns me. I wish I had another one of these engines to look at. Yeah, that concerns me quite a bit. All right, listen to my own advice. Get yourself a pair of these pliers. Well, a set, because there's multiple sizes. I got the small 3-piece set. You can buy them single, 3-piece set, and a 5-piece set, as far as I'm aware. There might be sets with even more sizes in them, but by the time you get to the big one in the 5-piece set, you're so far above anything I'm ever going to need that, yeah, it's not even worth my time. Okay. All right. Yeah. I suppose I had to go get some wiring tools, and we got to figure out the wiring on this damn thing anyway, right? Because it still won't start with the key. And we kind of want it to. We kind of want it to. Now, how do I go about getting access to all of that? That is the next question. And throttle works. Choke does not. This one's the choke right here. And it does not work. Not that I think it would anyway, because the bracket to hold it is missing. And I only just realized that. These two bolt holes right here would be for the bracket that holds the choke cable sheathing so that the cable itself can move. We are going to spray that with some PB Blaster. Yeah, I had it locked. Now, supposedly, this will wick in through that spring wound cable sheath. Per JT's Barn and Grill, he's working on a 214, or worked on a 214. Oh, there's a nice rusty spot right there at the low point. I bet you that's our sticking spot. Wow, that is really, really stuck. We're not going to monkey with that for right now, though. Let me go get some wiring supplies. Bear, sugar, no. Okay, electrical connectors, hot air gun. It's just a cheapo from Black & Decker. I've never actually even used it. This will be the first time. Some heat shrink tubing, wire stripper and crimper, and last but not least, a very heavy roll of wire. I don't have any red, so we're using yellow, which is an alternate color for 12 volt positive in many applications, and we are going to use it as such here. Now, did I misremember the wire gauge on this? I thought it was 12, but it does not feel thick enough to be 12. And of course the label on it is damaged, so I have to actually read the wire casing. $14. Okay, that's good. 14 works. I think this will be drawing so low current, and I'm pretty sure this is 14 as well. Yeah, it is. All right, so we are going to take our wonderful wire strippers here, put it in the 14, and go boop. And look at that, perfect strip. First time, every time. I like those wire strippers. All right, so we got our wire. Where did I? Oh yeah, up here. Downside working outside, no workbench, nothing, and I didn't bring my portable one out here. What did I say? 14, so that's the blue ones. All right. Crimps. Oh, come on. That wire wants to go back where it wants to go. It has a memory for sure. Now, get that in there ahead of time. Ah, and that's what I was trying to avoid. Let's just get this in here ahead of time. Get our wire lined up correctly. And crimp. Good solid crimp. Make double sure. Beautiful. Grab our yellow extension wire. Feed that in there. Same thing. Get it lined up. That lined up. Crimp. And crimp, and then make sure doubly on this one. Crimp. No, I did not put heat shrink on it yet. Don't you worry, it'll get done. It will get done, I promise. We don't want it anywhere near that hot exhaust, so we're gonna run it. Where do I want to run it? That's all pulleys and whatnot. I should have put this on the other side, but we can still do that. Both of them really need to be on this other side. There we go. So we're going to run it around behind the carburetor. And get myself some more slack. Cool. So that gives me enough to get down here to something that will only be hot when the key is on. My other option is to splice in directly at the key. Now, I don't know if I want to do that, but I'm sure thinking about it. Sure thinking long and hard about it. I'm going to leave that right there for the moment. Get my ratchet before it falls. We are done with that anyway, at least for the foreseeable future. What we need, I don't actually have out here, and that is my impact. I have my impact sockets, I don't have the impact. Un momento. 1 Milwaukee impact, freshly charged battery, set to number 2 out of 3 on the Ugga Dugga scale. Oh, silly receipt's attacking me. What we are going to do, probably have to adjust you guys. We're going to take a wild guess that these are 7/16 over here, because if I remember correctly, that's what the rest of the tractor was. So 7/16, it certainly is. All right, so there's one there, there's one over there, and oh, there's one underneath the, well, that stinks. I guess we might not be done with the ratchet after all. That's probably 1/2 inch. Let me adjust you guys so you can see what I'm even doing here. Come on, screen. Thank you. So we need underneath of the battery tray, which means taking this whole side panel off because the battery tray is integral to it. Unfortunately, one of the nuts is up there where I can't get to it. That's going to be fun. Alright, 7/16 wrench, the Ugga Dugga gun, my 7/16 inch socket, and being intelligent, disconnecting the hot lead, hanging it up. Oh, that's bent. I don't know if it's supposed to be bent, but it is bent. You know what? You gotta come off too. And you slide over. And you go on the other side. Oh crap. Wow, that was like barely on there and I lost the bits. We'll find them though, not a big concern. We'll find them. Alright, what else has to come loose? I know this one does, because these cables are hanging off of it. Is it just finger tight? Oh, just about. Just about. Now, we'll just get in here with the wrecking ball. I mean, impact. Well, I didn't have a good enough hold of that wrench. Thankfully, I didn't smash my finger. I felt it going, felt that my fingers weren't going to be strong enough, and I let it go before I got hurt, because that would have hurt. Let's get over here where I'm in better position. There we go. Nope, it still doesn't want to come loose. Really? Come on, stop hitting the... And we lost another one down there. Wow, that one was actually still on there quite well. Alright, move you over here. What else has to come loose? I think just that one under there, and maybe one more down low. Yep, one more down low. That looks like it might be bigger also. Let's walk around and have a look-see. Oh yeah. What is that, a 1/2 incher? Does that actually need to come off? Oh, most definitely. That's no good. All right. Hold that for the moment. So we need our 7/16. I'm missing in the type of socket that I want. Oh, that's no good. How about this one? Yeah, that'll have to work. Okay, and then I needed the most likely 1/2 inch, but I'll grab 1/2 and 9/16 both. Nine sixteenths is sloppy, and 1/2 inch it is. All right. Yup. Oh, that's no good. I'm rounding it off. Damn. That is on there good. Put it on stage 3. Get in there as good as I can. All right, push. Guess what came loose? Hot diggity. Of course, now I need the 1/2 inch wrench, don't I? One thing I didn't grab. Half inch. Let's get her on there. Come on, stay on there, you pig. Why won't you go on there? And we didn't lose it that time. Some people have asked how the hell I remember where everything goes. My answer to them is, I just do. I don't know how. Oh, we didn't need to take that out. There actually is a bolt. I didn't see for the battery tray. It looked like it was welded together, but it is not. Well, that is good news for us. Other than I just took this off. Whew. Yeah. We're just going to give that a little squirt of the juice. I should take it in and clean it up on the wire wheel or get a hand wire brush or something. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Sorry, I can't fit you guys in here with me. I can't even fit in here. I'm about breaking my wrist trying to do this. You know what? Instead of being stupid, I'm gonna just very loosely put this on here. Just so it doesn't come off. And we will deal with that again. After this one. Oh, that one snapped right off because I forgot it was on Uggy Duggy number 3 and didn't change it back to 2 or even 1. Whoops. Well, she's still not loose because there's one more down in there. Damn it. Getting irritated. And I shouldn't be. This thing's built like a tank. Unfortunately, that means it's built like a tank. I shouldn't be complaining about that. I should be embracing that. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, son of a... All right. And this is where you say it's just not worth it. The amount of time you're spending trying to get access to these electronics, you could have removed the electronics from the dash, fished them out, and worked on them out in the open. So that's what we're going to switch to doing. And to help improve my decision making, I'm going to take a drink. Yeah, dehydration is no joke, especially when it makes you do dumb things. All right, so what do we want out of here? We want the key switch. Key switch for sure. Which is only finger tight, thankfully. Oh, of course I say that and then it immediately gets tight. Be right back. One adjustable wrench. Versus one stubborn key switch bolt or nut. Okay. Now with that pulled out, yes, that comes loose from there. And what do we see? We see, a disconnected wire. Why, oh why would you do this to me, guy? Why would he disconnect it? That just doesn't make any freaking sense whatsoever. Now, of course, the question... I haven't talked about these gloves. I'm going to pause and talk about these real quick. Again, I'm not sponsored. Bought these on Amazon because my other work nitrile gloves kept tearing. I've been rubbing against sharp corners of metal. And you can see it's marking it. Hopefully you can see those lines going across. Right there's one next to my other finger. Right there's another one on the other side of my finger now. Two lines right there and there. You know, didn't tear. These are Titan, hold on, Titan Flex is the brand, Thor Grip is the product, and they come in multiple colors. So Titan Flex, Thor Grip, the important part is 8 mil. The vast majority of work nitrile gloves that you'll buy are either 4 mil or 6 mil, and that's why they tear. 8 mil with the grip texture on both sides of the glove, so that they're truly universal. It doesn't matter which hand you put them on. I have bought ones where it was only on one side, so you had to have a left and a right. was the dumbest thing ever. I took those back and got my money back after I complained, because that's garbage. So yeah, and it's a 100-count box. I don't remember how much they were. Don't care. I'll buy them again. I like them. I'm going to tell you guys about products that I like without a sponsorship, because I like them. All right, so on the other side of the tractor, getting down here, well, I may have found our issue. I may just have found our issue. And it wasn't that yellow disconnected wire, I don't think. So, coming out of the start switch is a wire that goes up to, why does that go to the headlight? Or PTO rather. This guy's got the PTO. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What kind of moron does that? So here's what I found. Purple jointed to red. Follow that up, and this was going to the starter solenoid. Follow that up, this jackass has it connected to the PTO on off, which means his PTO also would have never worked, I think. Unless, of course, that's a safety on that switch to make sure that it's off. I bet you that's what it is. Before I throw them completely under the bus, I bet you that that's exactly what that is. All right, then we have another red wire. It's going to what looks like a ballast resistor. And from there, it goes up, back into the wiring loom. Huh. Okay, this is a ground. Okay, that is the ground right there for our electric PTO. This blue wire, yep, so I was right, that is a safety. So I will shut my mouth. All right, there's a confusing one. Out of the wiring loom to go back into the wiring loom at a joint with a bunch of extra wire. Tells me this has definitely been rewired, which is rather unfortunate because I don't believe it was done right. And I didn't see what it was like original, so I have no idea what it's supposed to look like. So one side of that goes to headlights. I don't know what the other side would have gone to, but that tells me. So that yellow one that's disconnected, it's actually two wires coming out of one hole, and one of them goes to the headlight switch. So that tells me that that gives us our headlights. The other one doesn't seem to go anywhere, but might be an ideal candidate. We only want fuel pump when this is on. So this might be a good candidate for tying our fuel pump into. And it's yellow. Look at that. What are the odds, right? So what I really need to do is get my mitts in here. There we go. Ooh, that is rough. That is rough. That is corroded as hell. Ugh. Look at all that corrosion on that pin. I don't know if that's our starter activation pin or not, but I would guess it is. So I'll have to get my test light and test this switch for sure. That's one possible culprit. Another possible culprit, of course, is all of our safeties, which there are only two. Sorry, neighbor's going by down the alley there. There are only two. The clutch safety and the PTO safety. So it could be that the PTO safety doesn't allow electricity to flow. Could be that the clutch safety doesn't allow electricity to flow. Actually, does this have a clutch safety? Now that I've said that, am I talking out my butt? Am I talking out my butt? So that comes out purple tied to red, just like at the other end. It goes straight from the from the starter switch on this pin right here, not our cruddy nasty pin on the next one over. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run in to the shed again, get myself a... I'm going to put you guys on pause while I do this too, because I want to turn the air compressor on, let it build up some air. But we're going to have to get ourselves a test light. But first, we'll blow all the crud out. Oh, and that showed us another wire. That one is just cut and taped off, and that's the purple wire. So they redid this with this red wire external to the wiring loom, I assume because they believe the problem was the purple wire. So that gets us down the line there. I'll be back. And we're back. We have our test light. First thing you should always do is test your test equipment. We have the clamp end connected to ground, and when we touch positive, it lights up. When I touch with the key off, that post that's all corroded, that is our full-time power coming in from the battery. So none of the other, I had already tested this off camera while I was waiting on the air compressor. None of the other pins light up. We turn our key on. We have no power to the purple wire. We have power to the red wire that goes to the other side of the PTO switch. And we have power to the next one over, which I don't know yet what that goes to. Let's see, on the other side of the switch we have, come on, we have power coming out of that lug, which goes to a green wire that I have no idea where that goes. It goes down into the wiring harness somewhere, doesn't matter. Alright, the next wire over, which is a pink wire, goes down into the harness as well, I think, right? Pink, yes. And then our yellow wires, we can probably, yep, stab right in there. Our yellow split wires out to the headlights also have power. Now, when we put this to the crank, nothing, right? So if I can hold it in crank with that hand, we get it coming out. Cool. Now if I go down here, I unplug this wire that was going to the starter solenoid, and I put it in there. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but I can. You'll just have to trust me whether it lights up or not. It does light up. So what does that tell us? That tells us very crucially we have a bad solenoid. So that's why she won't start off of the key. There's nothing wrong with any of the wiring. They butchered up all that purple wiring because they didn't do their tests. Always do your tests. Diagnostics is the most important part of repair. Can't emphasize that enough. If you watch South Main Auto on YouTube there, he's very diagnostic oriented and he's very, very good, and consider me impressed. That's why I watch his channel. He does very long form videos, usually 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and I watch every single one of them end to end. Alrighty, so let's get this starter switch back in there. And get our nut back on. I get this weed off my leg that's driving me bonkers. Get our nut back on that. Sir Moose, that's enough barking. Or Diesel, whoever that is. What did I just say, kids? No. No. I can hear the people too. You don't need to bark at them. They're way over there. Obnoxious dogs. I love them though. I love them. I don't yell at them too much for barking because I want them to bark when they need to. When I tell them enough's enough, I want them to understand that that's enough. They can bark until I tell them no. And Moose is pretty good about that. The others, not so much, especially Reese. She just barks and whines whenever she feels like it. Alright, there's that back in and tight. We'll go back over on the other side and hook that solenoid wire back up. Now the important thing, of course, is this does tell us that we can use that yellow wire for our fuel pump, like I was hoping that we could. Unfortunately, I don't have a compatible end for it, but it is what it is. However, it's getting later on in the day. I'm getting tired. We're going to call this one here. I will pick this back up again probably tomorrow because I really want to get this thing running. Tomorrow is Sunday. It is Father's Day. And Lady Metal said that I could do whatever the heck I wanted. So I'm going to come out and play with my projects. The goal will be to finish this up to the point that it's running and then put it back together. What more is there to say? I don't think there really is. I'll do some things off camera, like putting all the bolts back in for the battery tray and everything, you know, just getting that all buttoned back up like it should be. And I will see you guys tomorrow. One of the reasons I gotta go though, because it is starting to get pretty late in the afternoon, and Lady Metal said that I better have that front lawn mowed before the end of the day. So I'm gonna go in, love on the dogs for a little bit, let it cool down just a little bit more because it's still pretty hot, and then I'll go out and mow the lawn. Yeah, great. We figured out what's wrong with it. Now we got to fix it. I will see about getting a solenoid ordered. I think aftermarket ones, who knows how good they are available. I don't know about originals, but we'll find what we find. For now, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and as always, I will see you on the next one.